Welcome to Athar's Garage. In this video, I'll be working on the Team Associated B6.4 Bag 4. So let's get started. Alright, so Bag 4 is going to be part of the rear assembly, the rear suspension arms. So we're going to need our aluminum C-mount, which is going to be this particular one here. And you can tell the C-mount apart from the D-mount because the C-mount has these bosses on the bottom. So we're also going to need the 1-degree pills. The 1-degree pills are these right here. Let's see. So they'll have a 1 and a dot on the side. So that's the one that we want. We need 2 of those. So we're going to install the 1-degree insert, 1 degree out. So it's going to install in this orientation right here. So just like so. And then when you look at it from this point, you'll see that it's a 1 and the dot is facing the outside. So that is the kit setup. So with that installed, we can install the C mount onto the chassis with 2 M3x6 flathead screws along with some blue Loctite. And looks like the bosses on the bottom of the C-mount will install in these 2 holes, and the screws are going to install in these 2 holes here. That's installed. If there's any excess thread locker, just wipe it down. So I'm going to go ahead and set the chassis aside, and we're going to get the rear control arms ready. And since we're here, we're going to go ahead and get these washers or spacers off the parts tree as well. So we're going to go ahead and prepare the rear control arms by installing the M3x20 set screw. The kit setup is the innermost hole. So if you look at the control arm, on this side there's only 1 hole, and on this side of the control arm there's 2 holes. So this is the innermost setting. The middle setting is this one with the hole on one side, and the outermost setting is over here. So we're going to use the innermost setting, which is going to be this hole. And one of the tips that's in the manual is to use just a little bit of CA glue to better secure this set screw in the control arm. I've never had it move on me, but since I'm here, I might as well. Just a little bit. And I know for my liking, I like the shocks being stood up. So I'm going to go ahead and install it with a little bit of CA glue, since most likely it's going to stay in this position. And another thing to note is we're going to leave 11 millimeters exposed on this set screw. Right at 11. So you can go ahead and do the other one. Right at 11. So now I can move on to bag 4 step 2. So we're going to go ahead and install our pills in the D-mount, and we're going to need the center dot pills, which are going to be these right here. So we need 2 of those. And then since there's a center dot, they mean that they're in the center of the pill. So you can install them in any orientation, but I like to face wherever I cut it off the sprue. I want to face them both in the same direction, so I'm facing them down. That's just me being OCD about it. All right, so we have our rear spacers. Those got cut off cleanly, so we don't need to do anything to them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to polish the rear hinge pins. So same as the previous steps, I'm going to take some Neverdull, chuck up the hinge pins in a drill, and then just polish it up, make it nice and smooth. Not necessarily necessary to do this, but since I'm here, I like to go ahead and do this step to make it extra smooth if possible. Even though it fell, I can tell which side hasn't been polished because it doesn't feel as smooth. All right, I'm just gonna wipe it down with a microfiber towel. Make sure there's no fibers left on the hinge pins. So now I'm gonna go ahead and install the hinge pin spacers first, and I'm going to install them in the same direction. You can kind of see some mold marks, so I'm going to make sure that those are facing the same direction. I'm going to face them towards the arms on both sides. I may go back and sand down the spacer to make sure that it's perfectly smooth, but I'm going to check to make sure that everything is smooth. I don't want to create too much play in the rear end, so that's why I'm not doing it. But basically, install the hinge pins. We have our spacers. We're going to go ahead and install our control arms, just like so. Everything feels nice and smooth, no binding or anything, don't need to ream the arms. Then we're going to install our D-mount, which is going to install like so. And then we have our rear bumper. The rear bumper goes between the chassis and the D-mount, and we don't have any screws to install it in this bag. When we install the transmission, the two screws that will hold the rear bumper and D-plate actually go into the transmission itself. But that's it for bag 4. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you did. Let me know down in the comments if you had any issues with these steps. I'll do my best to help you out. If you have any tips, let me know. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, which is going to be bag 5.